people, welcome to the finger-tapping frenzy that's the People's Champions Challenge, featuring the spiky-haired assassin, Sheamus, and that emotional man-mountain, Ryback. Now, I've already had a look on Twitter and other social media to see what people's thoughts are about these two cards, and it seems to be a bit... So let's take a closer look at them. Firstly, at least with Sheamus, they have got an up-to-date image with his present look. And of course, Ryback, you'd have thought they could have got a picture of someone perhaps smiling because he's just become the Intercontinental Champion. Doesn't matter what you think, they've got to be worth fighting for because this is the game we love. So let's get down to some action. But before we do get down to some action, where's Ninja Boy? I'm on my own. This is why I'm chatting to you. I'll tell you where Ninja Boy is. He's at school. And what is he doing at school? He came home yesterday, big grin on his face, and announced that his geography, science and history lessons between now and the end of term, leading up to his summer holidays, what's it about? Well, he spent yesterday afternoon tasting chocolate. Their whole project is about chocolate. When I was at school, it was all about learning to sweep chimneys and eat gruel and chase dogs around the butcher's shops and things. What's this chocolate thing? I went to the wrong school when I was younger. Anyway, let's get on with it. And straight into the King of the Ring. As you can see, 30-0 is the score at the moment. 3-0 up. And just need to supercharge the BadLadDad crew in there with the energy that some of them need. There's a couple there, and I'm not going to bother going on about it. It's basically, as you can see, survivor level. I need a couple of survivor cards, beginning to stockpile a few survivor cards, because that WrestleMania Fusion Chamber, Long John Silver and the Pirates are making preparations for the WrestleMania Fusion Chamber. That's going to be coming very soon, and we've been thinking maybe halfway through June, back end of June. Been a lot of big updates on the game in the last few days, so it could be sooner than we think. So start stockpiling, get ready. Anyway, let's move on, and let's get on to the PCC. The PCC, let's have a look at my deck to start off with, and let's get down there. I started at 8 o'clock this morning, which is the time it kicks off in the UK, myself and Ninja Boy, before he got dragged off kicking and screaming to his chocolate lessons. We had a good hour and a half. I had then another couple of hours at lunchtime, and as you can see, my rank there's 1,737. In terms of rewards, let's face it, I never get in the top 200 because you need to be playing 16 hours a day, be thoroughly dedicated to get anywhere close to the rewards that's going to give you 2 versions of each WrestleMania card. So I think realistically, I tend to hit around the 2,500 mark. It would be nice to hit in there. The single WrestleMania cards aren't much good when it comes to your exhibition decks and to the PCC itself, but for Road to Glory purposes, not too bad. But I would certainly like to pick up the WrestleMania cards as a minimum, and I do have a Mark Henry, so that would be worth having, because then I could get a WrestleMania Pro out of it. But let's get on with the action. Now, as usual, I'd like to hear how you guys are doing, whether you've set yourself any targets, or with the PCC, sometimes it's just a case of get on with it and see where you get to off the first couple of days. Because that does tend to then set the mark of where you're going to finish up. If you're hitting around the 3,000s or the 6,000s or the 10,000s, you'll come back to it after a few hours and you'll have been booted further out from the running, but then you'll weasel your way back in again with some nifty gameplay. Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to try and stick to 10 pointers. You can see I've got some title matches in hand. Just to give myself a bit of a boost, man. Bit of a boost. Right, so we're taking on George. Good old George. And my deck, I've refrained from sticking in the man who gravity forgot, Adrian Neville. I've left him out. I have pro'd him up, which I could have showed you, but I didn't, because I'm like that sometimes. And that took me into the WrestleMania Plus level, and I don't have 4 WrestleMania Pros, so I think you really need to have 4 WrestleMania Pros plus a strong diva to be batting at that weight. So I've just dropped down to straightforward WrestleMania. See how we get on from there. I've also, those classy Freddie Blassie cards, right, this isn't going to do me any favours. The classy Freddie Blassie cards, if you've got one of those Survivor cards and you're in WrestleMania tier, that's making all the difference when it comes to King of the Ring matches, because that plus 24 stats just gives you the edge across all stats. It's giving you the edge in every single match. I've had some interesting finals with people where I don't have that classy Freddie Blassie card, and I've tried all sorts of tactics to try and get around it, but you over 3 games you come a cropper. Right, let's get on with some more action. Has anybody bought any throwback cards yet? If you have, tweet us a picture, we'd like to see them. As we've mentioned previously, those throwback cards, they're not really much use to you if you're on Survivor or WrestleMania level, because you need to be getting cards that you can pro, and unless you can afford to buy about 120 packs, the off chance of getting 2 WrestleManias or 2 Survivors that you can pro, those cards aren't really anything other than something that's going to look nice for a couple of days till you realise you can't use it. Doesn't mean to say that we're not going to dip in and get some at some stage, but it's a bit shocking when you see some people have already got 2 or 3 pro'd cards, because in the UK to get 1500 credits, that's going to cost you about 10 of Her Majesty's Royal Pounds to get one of those cards. And if someone's got 2, even 3 pro'd throwback cards, you can think how many packets they've had to buy when there's 40 cards available to be able to get 2 of the same that they could then pro. It's a lot of dough. Right, where are we up to now? 1700s. A lot of dough which we can't afford. Right. So, Sheamus and Ryback, are they doing it for you? Are you realistically targeting them? It's about time we had somebody a bit different to the same old faces, but it has prompted the same arguments about left arrows and right arrows and up and down arrows. There could be a bit more attention to what there's a surplus of and what there's a desperate need for. But it's difficult when you've got all these different superstars with all the battles and all the storylines that go on during WWE. You're trying to come up with compatibility arrows. If you sit down with a piece of paper and try and draw it out, so-and-so's not speaking to so-and-so, so-and-so hates so-and-so, so-and-so would easily tag team with someone else. It's not actually easy to get that diagram going. That's what Ninja Boy should be doing at school. Forget the chocolate study. He should be writing out the whole WWE story. Then he can do his submission to Cat Daddy and earn himself a lot of money and pass it on to me. That will make sense in my book. Right. In regards to some upcoming videos today, excuse me, time for some of this. I wish it was the hard stuff. It is beer. Unfortunately, it's ginger beer, non-alcoholic, which, although refreshing, doesn't do what the real stuff does. Okay. In terms of upcoming videos, WWE Mortals, there'll be a probably 15-20 minute update to come on that, because there's some new characters. The lunatic boyfriend, Renee's lunatic boyfriend, Dean Ambrose, has got some characters coming in, and the new characters that have landed right now are Stephanie McMahon, authority figure, silver character. You can buy the gold character too if you want to part with 15 quid, but we'd rather wait for the challenges and try and get them for free, because that's what we like to do. Get things through gaming, not through buying, through gaming. That's why we're gamers, we love to game. And we also can't afford it, so... Right, I'm undoing my titles. I don't want to undo my titles. As I've mentioned with regard to my own PCC, I reckon probably about 2,500 to 3,000 will be my end position, because it's a lot to get through in 4 days, and I don't realistically see that it's going to be possible to bat higher than that, but I don't know. As I mentioned, give it a couple of days, review things on a Saturday evening, see how things are going. You might suddenly find you've got plans on Sunday and it's going to be impossible to do much. You may find no one wants to talk to you, in which case you can shut yourself in a cupboard and just get on with it. Right, so I've been doing okay here so far. I think I've lost one out of what we've been doing. Good old diva, Nikki. Let's give her a little boost. Give her a boost. A bit of procking. So there's Immortals to come, and there's also, I've discussed it with Ninja Boy, and I've mentioned it to you guys a couple of videos ago. The opening titles to our videos on WWE SuperCard feature two characters that I created on the 2011 SmackDown v Raw PS3 game. One is a short-head version of me, Big Jim, and then there's the Ninja Boy character with the big hair and the West Ham trunks running in, looking all muscle bound. Is Ninja Boy in about 15 years time. I did him as about 23-year-old. Now, we can actually use those characters within the game. So one thing I've discussed with Ninja Boy is perhaps doing a Royal Rumble, which we can obviously film and do a commentary over, that will include Big Jim and Ninja Boy, and then, as you can imagine, all of the favourites that were around in 2011. And I did actually have to make up some additional characters. There was no Daniel Bryan, would you believe, in that 2011 version, so I had to create that character and track down his music and get it as realistically as built as I could, complete with all his gear relevant at the time. And Alberto Del Rio was another one who I had to build in. So you can get a Royal Rumble going. There's Stone Cold Steve Austin, there's a lot of the old favourites in there too. And just see how it goes. And if you guys like it, we can do some more. And if you think it's not very good, I still have to watch my language, even though Ninja Boy's not here. If you think it's not very good, then we won't bother. It's a little experiment, see what you like. Got a bit of variation in life, just not stick to the same thing all the time. Talking of which, it's good to bring in Kane at this point. I'm sure he enjoys beating Seth Rollins. And thanks very much for all your feedback about first cards that you've been getting when you've been moving up a tier. For those that missed it, Ninja Boy was very upset. Having gotten to Legendary tier, the first card he got is, some people call it the free card, it's the first card that you get on the first deck once you've gone up a tier, was a support card. It was the John Cena taunt card. And then what? Oh, that's a nice little epic. Hello, Steph. Nice to see you. And that'll be good for the Fusion Chamber. Long John Silver, I like that one. When he got to Survivor level, he was so excited. And what did he get? He got a ladder. I'm very upset with that. Now, when I got onto WrestleMania tier, what was my first card? It was a stop sign. Now, although that has been very useful in combat, it does sort of take away the excitement. And so many of you have been in touch and told us about all the support cards that you've had going up through various tiers. It's surprising. I do wonder if it's sometimes deliberate, because it maybe tempts you to go into the store and start buying some packs to try and get a card, because you've been waiting to get that first WWE star. There's also quite a few people who've had to go quite a long time before getting their second car? Oh, I wish we got free cars for this. Second card. Now actually, in the three pulls that I've had, I had the stop sign. About 4 weeks ago, I had Mark Henry. And then last weekend, I had John Cena taunt. So I've had 2 out of 3 have been support cards. Which is nice. Nice to have, but I want to see a bit of glitz and glamour. A bit more excitement. That's not a good picture of Randy Orton, is it? In all the cards, that's not a good picture of Randy Orton. They could have done better. Ryback card, that gets me. It looks like someone's rammed a red hot poker up his rear end. A tag team. So what we will do, or what I shall do, and what we're doing together, a little PCC action here. I won't go on too long, because obviously it's good to have Ninja Boy by my side while we're playing these. So this is just a little warm-up, little taster, something just to keep you going ahead of what's going to be a busy weekend. But we'll be back together to do a bit of dual action, and we can do a bit of Mano Ninja Boyo as well, which if you don't know what that is, oh, what an excitement and treat you've got in store. And we'll do a longer version, perhaps hopefully for Saturday. Now that works quite well on a Saturday. If we do like an hour-long chiselling version, something that you guys can sit and be tapping away on your own PCC while listening to our inane banter, and we can all do this together, because that's what it's all about. Part of the community together. So Bret Hart, it seems it's an age since Bret Hart joined the squad. Kane has proved very useful since getting Kane on board. What are your views on the login rewards? The login rewards, the first day of June, was showing that it was going to be pretty basic cards, all the way up to an epic, and suddenly that changed. Now we're looking at, if you log in for 28 days out of the month, you're going to get a Seth Rollins Survivor card. Now, even though Ninja Boy and myself didn't start playing until January, and there've been people playing since, I think it was August time when it was the game was launched, August last year. Oh, title. It's still a bit of it was still a hard graft to try and get up the levels, and some of the things that were in at the time had only just been introduced, and you really had to work hard, and that just seemed a bit strange that they're suddenly throwing cards at people. Because if you've just started on the 1st of June, by the end of June you could have a Survivor card. It's going to lead to a lot of imbalance in decks, and I'm not quite sure whether it's a good idea or not. I would have thought a better idea would have been to have geared it up to where you are in terms of the game yourself. So if you're in WrestleMania tier, obviously the top pull you're going to get after 28 days should be a WrestleMania card. If they're a bit, they seem a bit tight when it comes to giving away the WrestleMania cards, because you only get one in King of the Ring if you win it. So perhaps just make it a Survivor card. But either way, don't be giving Survivor cards out to people who have only just started, and maybe a bit half-heartedly as well, because it's going to cause them problems. I would have thought the maths would say it's going to cause them problems. The Big Jim says it's going to cause them problems. Right. What do you think, though? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think, hey, that's great, more people will want to play, it'll get them... I can see perhaps what they're thinking is the game itself is becoming a bit samey for those of us who've been around for a while. They're probably trying to encourage a lot of new players to come in and give them a bit more incentive, because I guess it could be a bit dispiriting if you just started playing and then you can look and see there's people who've got these WrestleMania and PCC cards, special editions that they've been working on for months, that new players obviously will never be able to get because they're not available. So I can see there needs to be some kind of incentive. Virgil. That's a Virgil to pop up. Right, Zag Swag. Let's get Zag Swag in the bag. What will we doing? So I'm looking around at various monitors and things going on, because I don't have Ninja Boy to nudge me in the ribs if something's not working properly. So that's when you're doing everything yourself, because we have one camera that does our desktop, and there's a software that takes the broadcast from your iPad to the desktop. There's the camera that's focused on the person, the microphone. There's a lot to think about, but let's concentrate on the PCC. And doing okay. This is doing okay, this, isn't it? I mean, I started off, when I started gabbling on to you, I was in the 1700s, so this, I think, will get me in the late 1400s. Have a look together. 1487. That's cool. Let's plough on. Let's do a few more games. Right. That's all Mizdow. It's a shame. That's just Mizdow card came out, and then that whole episode finished. It was a bit late in the day, wasn't it? Not sure the Macho Man spoof he's doing quite works the same. Hasn't quite got the same pizzazz. And certainly helps if you've got the superstar whose name you've borrowed roaming around getting a bit annoyed with it all. Tag team. Is that tag team? Let's go for the big boys. What did you think of Eva Marie hitting NXT? I shouldn't smile. She got a bit of a rough time. But I have to say, we've not been that impressed with her wrestling capabilities over the past year and a half. I mean, she's been obviously a star of the Divas program, but when it comes to the actual nitty-gritty of being a WWE star, not quite sure she cuts the mustard. And the crowd weren't quite in letting her know what their thoughts were they? Be interesting to see how that progresses. If it does, it may not progress at all. She may find herself in an awful lot of trouble. The very fact that they're shoving her down not shoving her down, that's a bit unfair on all the NXT stars that are there, but the fact that she's not really getting much of a look in the mainstream shows, I think reveals what they're thinking in general about her. Haywood Jabloom looking for a home. About to be blasted. I just don't know. Get out of it. Egypt. Right. Next time I shall tap more forcefully. To Mo Diva Toughness. Right, those of you who've been following us for a while will know... Oh, that's what I did. Look at that. Stupid, clumsy fingers. Brought in Ricky Flair. Didn't mean to do that, do I? Idiots! Who've been following us for a while will know that part of the reason why I was able to spend some time with Ninja Boy and crack on with this is that I injured my back around the start of the year. And in fact, a couple of episodes actually came from me convalescing in bed, the hospital bed editions. And so bad news for me yesterday. The reason why we couldn't do a video yesterday was I had to go and see a specialist, and it looks like it's going to be a few more months layoff, which has its inherent problems, and I don't think work are going to wait forever. So I've got a few things to deal with. But on the plus side, the big plus side, means I can do more of this, rattling on to you guys. So it's bad for me personally, I guess, but in a way, it means I can keep on doing what we're doing and keep communicating with you guys, which we can do through Twitter and through the YouTube page. We love to see all your comments. Oh damn, I didn't change it, I'm talking too much. See, Ninja Boy would be here and he'd be saying, Big Jim, don't do it. But I've done it, it's too late. I need to get Ric Flair back out of there. Woo, Ricky. I don't stand unearthly here, do I? So yeah. So I'm going to be around a lot more. So hard luck. You're stuck with me. Alright. Latino Loco. I didn't notice I was playing Latino Loco. This is pretty much a waste of time, but let's give it a go anyway. And boot it out of the park. Damnation. That's not going to do me any favours whatsoever. Oh, well, that's a nice little surprise. Nice little surprise, little playoff there, little playoff victory. Victoire for the BadLadDad crew. That's an undeserved 10 points, I don't mind saying. I do not mind saying. Right, let's sort this deck out. You Egypt. You complete buffoon. I suppose it gives you a chance to see what I got. Let's put Bret Hart back in. As you saw, there's let's just take a look at the card. Let's skip out of here and take a look at the boys. Obviously, Warrior Ultra Rare Pro is set as my avatar, so it's fairly easy to recognise. I've said before, you'd be a pretty sad individual if you tried to replicate a Jim Barner account and had to have an ultra rare pro version of Warriors card to stick to the avatar. But I tend to keep that avatar because it's easier then for people to recognise rather than chopping and changing all the time. So it's Bret Hart and Mr. Red Arrow himself. I've managed to max him out. Kane I've had pro'd out for a while, Nikki, and then there's a few Survivor pros. Divas, I've actually, do you know what? I got sick of looking at all the Survivor Divas. You know, I had about 6, I think the count was 8 Survivor Divas, which in the end I just stopped feeding them out, or I've started feeding them into other cards. Randy, to be honest, I'm just starting to feed him up because I'll put him into the next Survivor card I get, or perhaps the next WrestleMania card I get. Just keeps it active, keeps things ticking over nicely. And talking of things ticking over, the Fusion Chamber. What have I got here? This is a second ultra rare fusion. I'm trying to get myself a couple of Survivor fusions in the bag. Again, just preparing for that WrestleMania fusion. Doesn't hurt to be prepared, and I've often said, don't leave your fusion chamber empty. Even if you're just chucking some commons in there to make an uncommon fusion, yeah, it saved you 15 minutes. Then that uncommon fusion saved you an hour. This time adds up. It's quite a daunting task when you're at the beginning of the fusion chamber thinking, I want to go to Survivor level, and there's like, was it 10 or 12 days to get through, and you can imagine how long it's going to be for a WrestleMania fusion to kick in. So yeah, get it done, people, get it done. Right, what am I going to do here? What am I doing time-wise? I've got no idea how long I've been rambling on for here. 26 minutes already. Gosh, what a chatterbox you are. Let's just do 5 more matches for the hell of it, and then I'll clear off because I've got Immortals to do. I've also got Ninja Boy going to come crashing through the door at some stage, home from his hard-earned chocolate lessons. And I want to try and get him set up and maybe have a play at this Royal Rumble this evening. Who knows? Who knows what we can get up to? As you can see, we're really tough taskmaster at the moment. But no, forget your homework, boy. We are playing WWE Raw v SmackDown. Do as you're told. It's not like that. You've seen what it's like. Right, and he does do his homework. Otherwise he would get into trouble. And that doesn't mean eating chocolate either. Chocolate? I just don't get it. I don't get it. It's not fair. I'm Kane and an able-bodied assistant. Right. This isn't helping me, is it? I needed a diva. Actually, let's use the charisma card. If that's any point. There's no point. Dean Ambrose does the job. Checktor has checked out with a victory and beaten me. Right, so that's a good start for my last 5 matches, isn't it? Right, 1462. Right, pick a card. Let's give us a little WrestleMania card. WrestleMania. Come on, you can do it. It's waiting on a network. Waiting on a network. That's a long network error. All that for Rey Mysterio. Come on. Come on, come on, get it together. Oh, my fingers, I'm so clumsy. Right, as you may have noticed as I skipped through there, I think I've just deselected my title matches, or I must have run out of title matches, and then I'm already pinged on, hopefully, the 5-point game. Otherwise, this is going to be not a very rewarding experience. So I'll just go with Nikki, don't boost her. Seeing a lot more WrestleMania Pro Divas the last few days. A lot more than I've seen previously. So that's going to make my Nikki not so powerful. It's a powerful woman, but not so powerful. Play team. Come on, boys. Do the job, son. That's better. Collect some points. Yeah, it is 5 points. So 1447. It can get quite frustrating sometimes when you're packing in the 5-point wins and you're moving up like 2 places, and knowing full well that if you stop, let's see, I've been stupid boy, stupid. But just got to keep plugging away, just got to keep going, never give up. Right, Diva, come on, lass. Oh, she's propped. Oh, we've propped. It's a procking double. Procking hell. We've lost. Okay. Toughness has got to be Kane. Gonna apply the Kane. That's how much power. Let's do this. And we take the victory. A nice little comeback. 2-1. See if we can just get up to break the 1400 barrier. while we're on camera. On camera. What is Sheamus thinking about with that hair? Oh, we've already done it. Okay, let's break the 1300 barrier. Let's keep pushing on. Just another mile. I'm convinced that Sheamus took a look at his character in WWE Immortals and thought, that doesn't look too bad, that looks quite cool. Somebody convinced him it would look quite cool. In reality, not so cool. Right. Uskal. Uskal. Who are you, Uskal? Interesting name. Let's go for Bret Hart. Put some heart in it. And we haven't propped. And was that a Freddie Blassie that just popped his head over the parapet? Right, okay, this will be 1-1. Thankfully, I can then use a card. That's the reason why I've actually not got my stop sign as one of my 2 support cards. Because you really need to have something for everything. Because if a Freddie Blassie card does come out, you've got to hope that at least one of your rounds your card is going to be strong enough to beat their card, even with Freddie Blassie in play. You would assume the actual round they're playing it on is going to be tight. And then you've got to bear in mind it's plus 24 points. And if you've got a lot of the similar cards, the Bret Hart Pro, the Adrian Neville Pro, the Kane Pro, that classic Freddie Blassie card is going to be plus 24 on whatever it is that you're fighting against. You really need to have plus 48 in hand if you can, because if it's, I don't know, power and toughness, they're going to get plus 48, aren't they? Because it's plus 24 on all their stats. So rather than having a card that just is one big hitter on one stat, you really need to try and have something for every stat, so you've got some chance of fighting back. That's my plea to you. Make sure you're well prepared. We can do this. We can do this, people. We can do this. Right, tag team power speeds. Although perhaps not with Survivor Pros. But we'll see. Yes, perhaps we can. Perhaps we can. Boom. Right, 3-0. Personal, right, 1358. That's a fairly healthy markup. Let's see if I reckon three more bouts would get us in. Let's just try and do it, shall we? Let's do it. Shall we? Shall we bother? Yes, let's do it. Don't be so hesitant. Speak up. Let me hear you. Ajmal, I am coming for you, Ajmal. You are going to be so small when I finish with you, Ajmal. I'm going to crush you like a grape. Like a finely honed red wine. You shall seep into the earth. And I'm talking rubbish again. Right. It's 1. Right, it's toughness, charisma. Kane, it's your job. Come on, son. It's a glorious day here in London. The sun is absolutely belting down outside. Unfortunately, I could probably take about 15 paces and then I wouldn't be able to walk much further because that's how bad my back is at the moment. But them's the breaks. Tag team. So you're 2 John Cenas. So you're John Cena and you're John Cena. Damn. Team double. Right, 1337. So actually one more game could probably take us into the 12s. I'll certainly give this a fair, decent whack this evening. Excuse me, that ginger beer. Thursday evening. And Friday, I've got no more medical appointments this week. I'm doctor free tomorrow, so I can hopefully, if I get a chance, I could sit outside if I'm lucky, but hopefully have a decent crack at it and then see where I stand Friday evening. I have to say though, the incentive, I'm not that motivated to get either card. I've sided with Sheamus merely because most of my cards are blue arrows. So if I was going to get one of them, or one or t'other, then I guess it has to be the blue arrow. But I'm totally expecting Sheamus to lose the overall vote for what it's worth. Right, think about what you're doing before you do it. It's not giving me enough diva matches. It's not being kind enough. I'm just going to have to do another one just to try and crack on. Cracking on, cracking on. So, do you have other members of your family play WWE SuperCard? Obviously, Ninja Boy and I spend a lot of time playing a lot of games together, which is fantastic. As you can probably imagine, it's great to have a mini version of yourself, a mini me, if you will, who is totally schooled in the arts of gaming, although sometimes it doesn't take defeat too well, but he'll grow out of that. Do you get the family involved? Does the whole family play WWE SuperCard? Is it just you? Do you have to slope off somewhere because they're making too much noise and they're trying to interrupt you with boring things like family functions that you're trying to get out of? No, you shouldn't do that, really. You should still have a social life. Remember, this is just a game, people, and there are real people out there, people, who deserve your attention too. Your love and attention. So it helps if you can get them involved, because then you're playing with the ones you love, and it kills two birds with one stone. But if your family or your loved ones aren't that much into it, don't forget them, don't neglect them, keep them happy. I'm so happy I'm not dead. Right. Booker ain't enough, he ain't king of here. I'm going to use that toughness and charisma card, and I'm going to use the ginger beer card. Right, Stinger. You always know there's going to be a $4,000 card coming out to face you. It's then just who they've got as their partner. And Diva. So we've tucked this one away nicely. This could be the final bout. If we've broken the 1300, this could be it. What do you reckon? Oh, close. Close. You're unlucky. I want to do one more. One more coming your way. So I want to pull a WrestleMania card on camera. Damn shy things. Right, who are we playing? X-Rated Gracie. I like the sound of X-Rated Gracie. Climb aboard, X-Rated Gracie. See what we can do, Sunlight Speed. Ah, that's when Neville's good. That's when Neville's good if you've got him. Cracking speed, man. Cracking speed. Why, aye? Right, Diva, I'm just, as a precaution, I'm going to play a power card with her. I didn't need to. Okay, maybe a bit of a waste, but I couldn't afford to go 2-0 down. So that's onesies. That leaves me Kane, who's normally good for most occasions, especially toughness. Especially toughness. Sorry, Randy, with your weird pose. Right. I'm going to have to do one more. Just to show that I can do it, and that I'm not affected by the ginger beer, and that this isn't a fluke. Come on. Right, Diva. Come on, Nick. Okay, that's not really helping. Onesies. So much speed is going to have to be Brett. That's cool. It was cool until they procced. Then it wasn't so cool. Right. So we're going to be going into a tie situation. And I've really got to hope that they've only got survivors up their sleeve. That's a tag team. Oh, that's even more chance than pulling out another WrestleMania. Ah, that's close, this one. No, I didn't pay attention to what the categories were. Get in there. Right, a winning note. Well, that'd be a winning note, I suppose, if I said I was going to finish once I'd cracked it. It's at 12.96, just under the wire. Okay, people, that's it from me. And when you see me again on WWE SuperCard, I shall have my trusty Ninja Boy by my side, and we shall be picking away at the PCC. Good luck with what you're doing. Write and tell us what you're up to. Please send us pictures of your lovely, lovely, lovely throwback cards, and we will see you this weekend.